What's happening, tabletop gamers? My name is LeunameGames and welcome back to LeunameGames Unboxes. Today, we're going to take a look at Jungle Cruise Adventure Game by Prospero Hall and published by Ravensburger. Let's go ahead and have a look at the back of the box here. Wanted. Family seeks experienced skipper for safe, speedy voyage along a perilous jungle river to Jungle Navigation Company headquarters. Esteemed company owner Alberta Falls will announce one of 4 families as temporary company caretakers before going on sabbatical, and we are in the running. Since we might be your future bosses, if you keep us on board, we'll do the same for you. Skipper must guarantee arrival and cargo and passengers, preferably in one piece. Can you keep your passengers and cargo safe from jungle dangers? Find clues about which families have fallen out of Alberta's favor along the way. The skipper who finishes with the most valuable freight of travelers and cargo will win a cruise back home. Is it just me, or does this sound like a company abusing their employees? Either way, with all that said, let's have a look and see what does the Disney Jungle Cruise have to offer us. Starting things off, we've got the board for the game itself. This board is basically like a little racetrack where you basically are just wandering through the jungle trying to get to the finish line. Obviously you're making stops along the way, but to put it very simply, this just seems like a racetrack. There are also 4 little mats that come with the game to represent each player's boats. Each of these boats has various little pods here to place various cargo and passengers, and as well as little descriptions of each side, because I imagine there's going to be encounters that affect various sides, and I will say these are fairly thin. And then of course, to represent the various players on the board are the little ships as well. Now I will say, on a positive note, fairly detailed old little ships, which is something I can very much applaud. It shows that they really wanted to provide a good visual presentation and for the players. There are 4 dice that come with the game, one of which is a speed die, which I'm assuming that's just you roll that and that's how far you move through the water. The others are peril dice, which I'm assuming is how you're going to resolve the various dangers that happen to you. We have 5 tip tokens, and these actually range from 1 to 3, and these can be rewarded to you based on how early you reach the finish. I have to say though, in terms of graphic design, not the easiest to tell them apart, because the outlining of the various numbers are not that well distinguished from each other. So there's a good chance, if your vision isn't that great, you could have a little bit of difficulty telling which is which. We have a couple tokens that have basically act as warning flares for your boat. Very easy to see, I must say. We have 4 of these clue tiles, which represent the 4 different families that are included with the game. And basically you'll use these to try and figure out who has fallen out of favor. We have a whole bunch of goods tokens and passenger tokens that represent everything you're trying to deliver, and they come in 2 different types. There is the outpost tiles, which you get at the various outposts through the game. Each of these come with 3 different types of goods. There are bananas, there are digging supplies, and there are kind of like these little relic things. And they're pretty easy to tell from each other. I don't think you'll have too much difficulty seeing which is which. They do have distinguishing shapes from each other. The other type is lost and found, which is basically just that. Things that you'll be able to find over the course of the game, most likely. And these are roughly the same. They also have the 3 different types of goods that you can get. But in addition to the 3 different types of goods that these tiles have, the lost and found tiles also have what's known as found passengers, which basically allows you to pick up passengers that you've lost throughout the journey. Speaking of passengers, there are a whole stack of various passengers for all the 4 players that are included in the game. Each of these has their the name of the different shipping company on the back, and he all have the character on the front with various symbols included with those tiles. Each of these belonging to one of the 4 families representing on the clue cards. We have 6 specialty cards, each of which are basically a special ability that the player can have for the game. And I will say, on a positive note, these cards are easy to see and are very easy to read. And then finally we have this deck, which is the encounter deck. And basically these are just filled with a whole assortment of things that can happen to you on your journey. Whether you encounter some ducks, have to deal with problems at a loading dock, have to deal with some pythons that might attack you, or some lions that might attack you, or, in the extremely rare case, have a very calm river. So that is everything you will get if you obtain Disney Jungle Cruise adventure game. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to learn how to play Disney Jungle Cruise adventure game, or if you want to learn my thoughts on it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more tutorials, reviews, and unboxings. Thank you all as always so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.